Okay, so I sent you a template.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, last week we worked on using and responding to the AGMO data. In particular, we practiced using the data to cold call.
Mm-hmm.
So what's been the impact of doing that?
Alright, so the impact of doing that was, I have more scholar investment. Because now everybody's like afraid of being called on and not having an answer written down, even if it's not a right answer. So like you see them like diligently writing more, I guess.
They make sure they have an answer, even if it isn't the right answer.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. It's big that kids feel comfortable taking a risk in your class.
Yeah, it's not like even if it's not right, they're like, well, sure, we'll get the correct answer.
I love that.
Yeah.
What else? Any other big wins in the last week?
Well, looking over quiz data, like it's just like telling me points that I need to like specify before their testing.
So what are some of the big wins from the quiz?
In the quiz, some of the big wins was that students know their food chains and their food webs, so like that was great.
I want to watch it.
They were able to like they got confused with some of the symbiotic relationships, right? But they were able to explain what the relationship was when it came to writing out their
name. Okay.
Yeah, it was just the name.
Okay.
Like it's like you could tell like it's like when it came to like explaining, they explained the relationships.
So their written answers, their explanations are continuing to be strong. Because at the beginning of the year they were very short, right? That's why we pushed for exemplars. I want to go back to action step for last week and watch this video again because it was awesome and you nailed your action step. And I got teared up and really in the back of the room because I'm in my 30s. All right.
90% correct on the most controlling answer, so I'm just going to go right through those. Alright, then we'll go right into our 90% correct on the most controlling answer, so I'm just going to go right through those.
That's great. And I love that you just named for the kids why you were just going to go from.
Alright, then we'll go right into our constructive responses. Remember one, we had C, D, C, and then C. Alright, so we're looking at our constructive response.
And you gave them time to fix it.
It says, why do carnivores at the top of the food chain have to eat so much more than the herbivores at the bottom? Jalen, give me your response. Can you say a little louder? I can hear it. Carnivores have to eat more food because they get less energy. Alright. Bria, can you elaborate, or can you give me a more specific response on that question? Say a little louder, babe.
I said carnivores have much more food to eat than the herbivores.
The herbivores?
At the bottom because 90% of the food is not food and 10% is food.
Alright, Jalen, can you repeat what Bria just said?
You said 90% of the
Okay, and how much gets given? Thank you. Alright, so.
You can hear me clapping at the end. I didn't notice that before. Wait, I'm going to listen to that again.
Alright, so. Describe two.
That's cute. Okay. So I'm really proud of you. That was awesome. I want to stay on this kind of action step a little bit longer, but focus on independent practice. So planning for like a high-level constructor response question in every independent practice, and then responding to that. So it's something that you already been thinking about, but I want to make sure we nail it every single day. So I'm going to go back to, and I put a link to it here in the notes.
This right here.
So if you click on that, these are coaching session notes from, this is a terrible angle, let me fix this.
This was from October.
Yeah. These are, if you scroll down here to the
To
part where it
which
says
part?
see it.
Okay.
So remember, this was the IA question that we looked at.
Okay.
Take a minute to read that.
Okay.
And this is the practice question that I wrote to align to it in the independent practice. So take a minute to read that.
Okay.
So what's effective about the question that I wrote?
Well, it's effective in the way that the questions are going step by step, so that the kids are knowing that there's a process.
Mm-hmm. And what if you were aggressively monitoring during this class? What would you monitor for?
I would monitor for the different transformations, meaning the state that the energy is in. I would monitor for the process of something turning on to something turning off, like making sure that they were using like the key vocabulary here, like energy stored, being that it's transforming and what's occurring in that battery.
Great. So does this address all the nuances of
Mm-hmm.
that line question? Great. Do you have, I didn't ask you to do this, would you mind pulling up or grabbing your packet from today?
Alright. I'll pull it up.
Great. Now let's look at the IA questions that are associated with today's lesson. So if we go to science, 6th grade.
Because I wasn't concentrating on the catalyst this morning. What I was concentrating on today was I was giving them specific questions after notes were written. So I would walk around during, I wanted to know about question 2.
Okay.
And then I was looking at scenarios of economic balance, like ecosystem imbalance. And then I concentrated over here on their independent practice on question 3, 5, 6, and 7.
3, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so let's take a look at the IA questions that go with today. So what is the day that you're on?
Because right now I'm working on biodiversity, which aligns to question, it aligns to the constructed response that they have on the IA.
Which one?
Question, was it 52?
If this is right, then your mind is insane. Let's look at.
I think it's 52.
Okay. Your photographic memory is trippy. Okay, so biodiversity is important. Da, da, da. Okay, now tell me again, what are the questions you're agboing in order to make sure they can get this?
Alright, so I'm agmoing what are the 3 factors that affect biodiversity and ecosystem. So talking about area, climate, and niche. Right? Then looking for the 4 human activities that threaten biodiversity. Habitat destruction, poaching, pollution, and introduction of exotic species. 3 approaches to protecting, captive breeding, laws and treaties, habitat preservation.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last question for each approach to protecting biodiversity lists at least 1 factor that might limit its success.
Okay.
So, like if they talk about captive breeding, it's expensive. Laws and treaties are difficult to enforce because even though you have the law and the treaty there, it would be hard to tell people that they can't do something with them listening. And preserved habitats have characteristics of diverse ecosystems. The only thing that it's expensive to have the space in order to have these habitats, and it's hard to maintain by having different niches and habitats within their
Your
community.
brain is becoming an exemplar now that you've written all of these. That's badass. Shouldn't coach in my coaching videos, but I did it. What about question A though? Describe the impact on a region if biodiversity decreases.
All right, so that
Where
would
is
be
that?
question. That's back over here. That is in question 2. What might happen if the biodiversity of some of the ecosystems is disrupted? Other
Okay.
species might die out, and the area might not be as attractive to tourists
So.
because it has to deal with an economic value.
Right. If I were to pick up, since you're thinking about leaving us, if I were to pick up this packet next year, and I'm a new teacher, would I know which questions to AGMO looking at this packet?
If you looked at the test, you would know which ones to ignore.
But if I looked at your plan, would I know which ones? What are
No.
the? Okay, so let's go ahead and make a note in there, like before the exemplar, almost like put AGMO in all caps,
Alright.
and you can put in parentheses aligns to 52A. That's even more powerful because you know that because your mind is a trap, but. Not everyone would do that.
You were like, what? I'm like, yep.
And what are the other ones?
And then the other ones align to 52B.
Which ones?
Put
Put AGMO and put 52B for those ones.
and this one particularly. Oh.
Sweet. So this kind of stamps, like God forbid something go. You're really great at circulating. You have excellent classroom management, but this stamps like those are the 3 questions I have to collect data on.
Mm-hmm.
Like what if the snack explodes or something like that, right? Then you know at least you're gonna look at those 3 questions. So let's. I'm gonna drop in your action step, and again, this is nothing new for you. We're just stamping it that this is gonna happen in the independent practice.
Mm-hmm.
I have too many windows open, Morse. There we go. Okay. Is to include a high-level constructor response question aligned to the IA in every independent practice, and annotate in the packet that you're gonna AGMO.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the big new thing for you. Is I'm gonna highlight it here in pink. Is this part around annotate in the packet to AGMO those questions?
Okay.
This is something you're doing. We're just stamping it.
Okay.
I'm not quite ready to give up on this action step. Let's take a look at your packet for tomorrow and do the same thing, get a little more practice in.
Tomorrow I'm doing the lab. The population estimation lab.
So you can still circulate in
No.
AGMO during a lab. So let's take a look. So what are the aligned IA questions for tomorrow?
Tomorrow's aligned IA question has to deal with like overestimating or underestimating the ecosystem, like pretty much like their areas, and it's aligned to this. Is that it? No, they changed that question. No, that's a changed question. Survival. Looking at this, 2 ways that other organisms can survive and grow. Wait, no, that's not it. Driving. Quotient. See, this one's shorter than the last one.
Because maybe I think you took the last IA before there maybe were revisions. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Okay, but you have flex days in this unit, so this
I
is
still
kind
have
of
2
like
days.
a flex day lab. Okay, great.
I still have 2 days that I need to, because we never had a content day, so I have 2 days extra.
Okay, so let's look at Monday then.
Okay.
I want to get a little more practice in making sure there's alignment for a high-level construction response question, marking that we're going to annotate it, so that way we're prepared to do that next week.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's not Monday's lesson. Monday's lesson has to deal with their performance assessment that they're taking on Tuesday.
Great.
So,
So I'll put the performance task.
yeah, because their performance task has to deal with graphing
Oh.
population. So,
So
they
this
have to
is
do
related kind of to tomorrow.
Yeah, because they have to do line graphing. So I started with a rabbit population just for one line,
Mm-hmm.
and then a fruit fly population for one line, and then I went in with moose and wolves, so that they would have to do a double line graph of moose and wolves.
All right, so let's go with that first graph. This is an excellent question, Agmo, and you're going to do like multiple loops.
Okay.
So let's start a comment bubble.
Where?
I don't know.
I'll do it right here.
Are you modeling the first one, or are you?
I model the first one.
Okay, so maybe go to the second one.
Yeah. Okay. Because I always have to model what it is that they're supposed to see and go back into like almost like a review before.
Right, so let's go to the second one then. That makes sense.
Okay. Go.
So Agmo.
Mm,
What are you looking for in your, like, and then press enter and do first quick loop.
first quick loop, I'm looking for that they have pretty much the titles,
The labels.
the labels,
Good.
labels on graph. That's the first thing I look for.
What about this?
And then the second loop is when I look for, after they have their labels, to look like that they're actually scaling it correctly.
Okay, so appropriate scales.
Scaling correctly.
And then lastly, if
And
you have
then-
time.
And then lastly is to look for, after the scales, I look to make sure that they're actually, that they got their rise over run when they're actually like putting in their dots for their line graph are correct.
Got
That
it.
they're actually aligning it.
Great.
So, I don't know if we're supposed to write it as rise over run, but that's how I remember it.
I don't know if you have to be that specific. I would just check to make sure they're plotting the points correctly.
Alright, rise run, plotting.
Great. I want to come in and watch this. So it is effective when you name what you're looking for in each
Mhm.
loop. So how would it sound to start this?
Alright, scholars, now you are going to start the
Damn.
You're going to start your data set number 2 on the fruit fly population growth. I'm going to come around in 1 minute to check your labels on your graph.
Great.
In 2, I'll be checking your scaling. And then in 3, I'll be checking to see whether or not you are plotting correctly.
I don't think you need to say it
So
all
all
at
at
once.
once, yeah.
So do it again.
Alright, so in 1 minute, I'll be coming around to look for your labels on your graph.
It's effective that you give them a minute because you give them time to try it first, right? And you named it. Okay, so you did your loop, now what?
Alright, scholars, at this time, I'm going to be coming around to check your scaling, meaning I want to see the correct numbers on the correct axes.
Okay, do it again and say, instead of just correct numbers and even scales. Do they know what that means?
Yeah.
Okay, so try it again.
Alright, so I'm going to be coming around and checking the correct number and the even scales.
And to
That
make
doesn't
sure the
sound right,
scales
but
are
I'll say it.
even.
Like
And to make
sometimes,
sure the
like
scales are even.
when I say the X and Y, that's when they'll get scales.
Say it again.
All right. Yeah.
Whatever makes sense, say it again.
Yeah.
And I'm going to see if it makes sense to me. I'm going to pretend like I'm a
Okay.
6th grader.
All right. All right. Squirm a little bit. Okay. At this time, I'm going to be coming around to check your X and Y axes to see the scales. To see if the scales are correct.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Awesome. So you're going to be doing this on Monday. So I want to come in and try to get some video.
Okay.
So that way we can talk about it when we meet on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So what's a good time?
Tuesday should be fine because Tuesday is Tuesday I won't be like overwhelmed with anything else, because they're doing their performance assessment.
Great. So, but Monday for video, what's a good time?
Monday for video doesn't matter. Let me see. I'll tell you right now what the timing is on everything. Let's see. You can come in, 15 minutes into the lesson?
Sure. So that would be at, let's look at this little Ding Dong Bell schedule. Let's see, that would be at 8, at 9:15.
Well, you gotta add 5 minutes because we're always 5 minutes behind on transitions.
Kind of like 8.
I'm just.
I know, 9:15, and then let's see, like 12:30. It's not gonna work either.
Yeah, look at what's best for you. Would it be the last period best for you?
8, 9, 15. But I'd like to get it early so I can put it in the bird, but I can put it in the bird the next day.
Because even if you got there early, you can do the first period class. That's if your schedule allows it. No, it doesn't.
I mean, I can shift things around. Let's see. So 8, 9:15. I'm just worried 8 might be too late.
8 might be too early because at 8 o'clock, like I've been timing, like our transitions haven't started till like 7:47.
So I'll try at 8, and
7:40.
then I'm gonna put both on here. So I'm gonna try at 8, and then I'm gonna try again at like 2:15.
Okay.
So 8 a.m. video Morse agmograph. Cool.
Yeah. No, because these last lessons are going towards our performance. Because
Sweet.
if I didn't do that, they would probably have the performance task and look at the graph and not try anything.
Agmograph. 220, 250. Sweet. Thanks, Morse.
Okay.
Taking Agmo to the next level. Now we're working on some loops.
Yeah, because I gotta